Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. This is a test video. I am getting my angle set up here. Okay, so you know I got a new phone and I got a new case on it and it makes it huge and clunky so it won't squeeze into my squeezer thing that I normally use to video with, so I've had to rig something else up. So we're going to try this. I've got it cast over to my TV so I can see what you're seeing. Okay, let's try this. Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. Today I am cleaning in my new art room. Yes, those of you who watch me very much are going, oh my gosh, Amy. I know. You talk about your body hurting and everything. Yeah, I know. I bring it all on myself. I know that. This is the last time. I'm death cleaning now. I am trying to get rid of stuff and downsize. My brain gets so... I'm just going to make a masterboard while I talk. I've got two pieces of paper here. One is cardstock and one is this... Remember this paper from when we were in school? It's very fragile, actually. So I'm going to leave the grid on one side and I'm going to masterboard on the other just to strengthen it up. And that way, if I decide to make it a page, we have this side here to do something else with the grid. Is that crisp and clear to you? I'm just going to do it. I cannot let that bother me, that blurriness. My old phone was blurry and I thought maybe this one would have fixed that problem. So let's just try this. This page here, I'm going to do all neutral. Darn it. I've got to stop this video and come back because I forgot the girl's name that I wanted to reference. So let's do that. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay. Now, I've been watching Journaling Tale, T-A-L-E. She was referred to me by Miss Moss. Helen is kind of laying low and just doing some self-care and putting all of her energy into her caregiving of her parents and her antique booths that she takes care of. So when she has a downtime, she's watching videos, and she's been watching this Journaling Tale, and it is just so wonderful. I have gotten into her too. She just does what I long for, which is just to be a kid and scribble and play, and it's just fun to watch her be free. It's like, it's therapy for me because I have to learn to be a kid again. Although my husband will tell you, no, I never quit being a kid. But I actually have to concentrate on just letting myself be free and create like a child. So it's really fun to watch. Now, what she's been doing is painting, and the last video I watched her do was painting and making painty papers that she can tear apart or add to her journals or whatever. And I decided that I am going to make a masterboard out of all neutral colors, and then I was just going to play on top of it with my color, my markers, whatever I want. And so that's what I'm doing first, is making my masterboard so then I can play and create using the Journaling Tale concept. let's just use this. I've got a bajillion of them. It's just laying right here. Another reason I'm wanting to do a masterboard is because I have moved my art room from the 2-car garage into my spare bedroom. You know, the kids are getting older. I'm down to just one that comes over to spend the night. And Rosie's only been over one time this year with her friend Violet. And the other time she came over, we went camping. So I thought, you know, if they want to spend the night, that's wonderful. I will just blow up the air mattress in the living room. And you know what they would love. We'll just have to... I got a hair. You guys can't see it. The big old honking hair right here, and you guys probably can't even see it. I will just Mod Podge right over the top of that. What they would love is if I blew up the air mattress in the living room and then we built a living room tent around it. Wouldn't that be fun? That would be even more fun than having a spare bedroom, right? The toy box is in the living room. We have a corner where our TV sits on a shelf in the corner, and then below it is a big empty space where I have the toy box, and then we have 2 big French doors that shut over the top of it if we need to, and I have a curtain in front of the toy box, and the kids, ever since they could walk, have gone in there and, you know, crawled behind that curtain and gotten into the toy box. So that is, it's not like they're going to miss that. Rosie's the only one that even partially plays right now. And so I decided I was going to move my art room in here where it's more climate controlled. I just get so, you know, you get in the mood to create. You want to go create. You don't want to go out and turn the air conditioner on and come back in for an hour and hope you don't forget about that the air conditioner's on. And or the heater. Same with the heater. I have to go out an hour ahead of time and turn that on. And I get tired of that. And what really clicked my switch was the last time I went out there, I do get overwhelmed, and I know that. And I'm just sitting there thinking, what can I do? Looking around this huge, for those of you who may be new here, my art room was in our old 2-car garage. I turned that into an art studio years ago when I first started this. And anybody that watches me knows I have moved everything around in there, trying to make it accessible for me. Every year I've been on here, I have moved that art room around. I think I've done it 9 times. And every winter I usually come in here and work in the house, because sometimes it just gets too cold that I don't want to set up. I don't want to try to heat it. I feel guilty heating a whole 2-car garage for me to play in. So I end up bringing stuff in here to do. And I sit out there and I get overwhelmed about what should I do, because I've got so much stuff sitting everywhere that it just boggles my brain. And one day I was sitting out there and I was looking for something that I absolutely knew I had, but I have moved that room around so many times that I don't ever know where I've put stuff then. You know, I don't go out there enough for it to imprint in my mind. So I'm out there and I'm thinking about Helen, how she has her art room in her spare bedroom. Her art room and her office is in there. And she does now, this isn't really considered neutral, is it? But I'm going to use it anyway. She does absolutely everything I do and more out of that little room with what she has. And I'm thinking, you know what? Helen can do it. Then I can do it too. I do not need all of this stuff. I need to just get rid of stuff. Again, I've gotten rid of things so many times. And yet I still have room to go down. So I have been going through everything, and I've been slowly moving it in here, and I'm not done yet. Every time my husband comes home, well, like today it was raining, and he left, and I always walk him out because I like to check under his truck for turtles before he leaves, and see him off. And he walked through the art room because he's got his hands full. He's got his lunchbox and his computer and his coffee and his drink and all this stuff. I'm opening the door for him, and he looks around and he says, "When are you going to start moving this stuff in?" I'm like, "My room is packed full. Have you not noticed that?" He said, "Honestly, it doesn't look like a thing has left here." That's how bad it is. That's how much I am professional at stuffing. Like, I can fit so much into a space. And yeah, he couldn't tell. He couldn't tell anything had been moved. So I have two baskets. They're old laundry baskets is what they are. Two of them, mind you, with my scraps in it, like what I'm tearing up right now. And I said, I can't keep both of them. I've got to get rid of some of this. So I decided today my mission is to make some masterboards with some of it. My goal is I would love to make 10 masterboards today, just bases, just getting something glued on them that can fit in a file cabinet. And get a masterboard file started, and the rest of it take to the burn pile. I'm going to put stuff on Etsy again. I don't quite know how I'm going to work that, but I'd kind of like to I would kind of like to just make some packs of ephemera, like a bunch of tags. I enjoy making tags. I enjoy making snippet rolls, belly bands, clusters, all this stuff. But I've got so much that I have accumulated for my own books that I thought I ought to start putting that stuff in bags and selling it. Maybe somebody else would like something different. Little packets of different odds and ends to put in their journals. So I don't know. I might try to sell a few of those just to see how that goes. There's a cute little stamp. So that's what has led me to do this today. Number one, that I have all these scraps that I need to get rid of. Number two, that I've been watching Journaling Tale, and she's got me excited about just playing. You know, it doesn't take any thinking to sit here and glue paper on paper, and it doesn't take any thinking to play and just scribble. It just takes away your tension, your stress, your anxiety. You don't have to think of anything. If you do want to think of something, I like to pray sometimes while I'm doing it. I mean, I've already had the Lord busy today helping me find a bike pump, in which he did. He always does, always. When I ask him help me to find something that I have misplaced or whatever, he always leads me to it. And usually it's through my squirrel nature of me seeing one thing and then going and doing another. You know, I started out looking for the bike pump, ended up in the barn looking for the bike pump, but then started organizing, and then remembered oh, I have to go out and check the school bus because it leaked a while back and I want to see if it's still leaking. We had rain last night, so I go out to the school bus, and while I'm out there, something says, hey, check that little outside box. You put stuff that you didn't think you would use very often in the outside box of the school bus. So I went out there and opened up the outside box, actually in there checking for leaks, and what do I find but my bike pump? So yeah, I know the Lord leads me to that because he knows how my brain works on a scattered. That's the way I work the best, I guess, is when I'm scattered. So my husband called me earlier and said, what do you have planned for tomorrow? It's Saturday. I said, you know what? I don't have anything planned tomorrow. Look at that. I'm going to set that aside, let that dry while we do one with color on it, and then we'll come back and play with this. I said, I don't have anything planned for tomorrow. He said, how about we, because we both got bikes. Did I tell you guys we both got bikes? We both got electric bikes. And I said, you know what? I want an electric bike. I want a trike, the one with 3 wheels, so that I can jump on it, go up here to the bike path. We live out in the country. We're 5 miles from town, but there's a bike path that goes from one town to another, an 8-mile bike path. Well, actually, it starts out here at our Augusta town, goes all the way through Andover, out behind our property, and all the way to Wichita and beyond, goes on the other side of Wichita. So I told him if I had a trike with the big basket on the back, I could ride to Andover. No, my body won't let me ride a regular bike. I could not do it. My Lyme gives me such heart palpitations that I just don't think I could do it. And I said if I had an electric bike, I could ride to Andover and get groceries and come home and still have gotten exercise because you're still pedaling. It just has pedal assist so that when you're pedaling, it's not as hard. It's actually driving it while you're pedaling. So he said, well, I'm going to get one too, and we will take them camping when we go, and that'll give us something. We don't always have to take the Jeep. We could ride into town if it's not too far, or we could ride it back and forth to the shower house, or, you know, whatever we would normally be doing with our Jeep. We could take our electric bikes. So we got electric bikes July 11th. Mine was damaged when it got here from FedEx, but my parts are coming. My husband went ahead and made it so I can ride it. It had a flat tire, but he has fixed that. He told me just to be safe, let's keep a can of Fix-A-Flat on our bikes and an air pump. And that's what I was looking for when I needed God's help this morning, was that air pump. He called me and said, hey, let's ride to Andover in the morning, have a coffee date, and go in and get coffee. I said, great idea. I'll look for the pump, and I'll run to town today and get a can of Fix-A-Flat. Now, our bike path out here is chipped rock. It's not cement or pavement until you get almost to Wichita. But that's okay. I got the great big fat tires. I'm going to do this is the thing. I've only ridden it once. Terry and I rode it the first time into Andover and back. So it was 5.5 miles we rode in and 5.5 miles back. My heart was not palpitating. My breath was not out. You know, I wasn't out of breath, but I felt I had exercised, and that was really nice. So I'm going to do a review of my bike when the weather cools down a little bit. Good grief, about every other day it's 100. So I am just going to let it cool down just a tad before but hey, it rained all night last night and it has cooled down a bit today. And I'm hoping in the morning it'll be nice to go to town since it rained and everything. So we'll see how that goes. I can't wait to do my little review and show you my bike and how I'm going to like it. This one here I'm doing. It's just so hard to tear these pages up. This is a painty page I did. Oh, isn't that adorable? I just don't know that I can tear it up. I mean, that would really just make a cute page to just put a focal image on, wouldn't it? Yeah, I can't do it. I'm going to... Let's see here. Let's get... I've been putting signatures together. I had all kinds of pages made ahead of time, and to bring them in, I thought it'd be easiest if I just went ahead and put the signatures together. And let's see if there's any I can tear off. There is a little bit I can tear off and use. So that's what I did all afternoon yesterday, was put signatures together and stack them up in a drawer back here where I have an old dresser that I'm, you know, whoops, what did I do? No, I'll leave this out. And I have them stacked up in there, so all I have to do is reach out and grab how many signatures I want to put in the book, and they're ready to go. They don't all have pockets and stuff, so I can, you know, make those and put them in as I wish. So that's all that's been going on around here. I tore my hearing aids up. They finally gave up the ghost. And I went to the hearing aid lady yesterday to have her adjust them everything, because I've been feeling like the speaker's blown in my right one. And she said, oh dear. First of all, she had to put them in the dryer because she said, have you been out in the rain? I said, well, I'm out all the time. Like, I'm setting sprinklers. I'm doing everything with my hearing aids on. She said, don't. You've got to take them off. I said, well, okay. I mean, if I start hearing them get sparkly, you know, crackly, I do go in and take them off. But otherwise, I just figured they're not getting wet. Yeah, I know. I'm not the smartest tack in the shed, or smartest tool in the shed. So she had to put them in the dryer before she could even look at them. And then when she brought them out of the dryer, she said, oh dear, that's material. That would make a cute, I've painted on some material. That would make a cute pocket, wouldn't it? She started digging into them, and after they dried, and she said, well, she said, I can see that your right speaker is cracked. It's got a big crack in it, split right down the middle. Well, they are what? I've had them ever since. I've had Lyme since 2017, and that started affecting my hearing within the year. So I've had them since then. And I got the El Cheapoest ones they made. So I would say I did pretty good. And as she was taking them apart, trying to clean and put new wires in them and all that stuff, speaker fell apart. And she said, well, girl, I hate to tell you, but it's time for a new pair of hearing aids. So that was a Debbie Downer for me. I'm not wearing them at all right now because I can wear the left one, but it just throws my brain off, only hearing out of one side. I just can't do it. So I decided, you know what? I'm here all the time at home. I don't need to wear them. I'll just not wear them at home. Usually when I'm watching TV or something, I've got a set of big old headphones on so that I can hear the TV better. And if I go to town, sometimes, you know, if it's a grocery store or something, I don't speak to anybody anyway. So I'll just leave them off until I can afford to get some more. My husband, we have a consultation with him to see another dentist on Monday to see about getting him another set of dentures. He had a bad experience with a denture place, and it's been about 1.5 years, and I'm still grinding his food like he's in an old folks home. And it's getting to where he has to put so much glue on them to keep them in at all that when he takes them out at night, and if any of you have dentures and have ever had this issue, let me know if you have found a tip or a trick. That when he takes the glue, when he takes his teeth out at night, that glue is so full in his mouth that it sticks to his gums and it's peeling the skin off of his gums where the glue was. So I said, we got to do something. We've got to get you some decent teeth so you can eat. So we're going to do that first, and then I will do my my hearing aids. Hearing is a luxury. Teeth are a necessity. This will make cute tags. If anybody has any advice on some hearing aids or teeth, you know you hit the old age when your videos are about hearing aids and teeth, right? I have reached that point in my life. You know what I'm running into as I'm looking for papers to collage? I'm running into a lot of things like this in my scrap box that I have played on cardstock already. What? I guess I'm just going to have to make tags out of them, aren't I? Because you can't really put cardstock on a masterboard. It's just kind of thick. So I guess just go ahead and add to these and make them tags, right? Maybe I should be starting a pile for tags and make a file of just things to make tags out of. See, I've got another one here. And I ran into this stuff yesterday. This is all thicker paper. This is watercolor paper, so it's really thick. These things I can't just add to my page. It's going to have to be something thick. Yeah, that's all going to have to go in one file, I think, isn't it? Did I drop a piece of paper? Yeah, but that one doesn't matter. Okay. Let's continue on. I've already used this one. Huh. I need a piece of tape. And this is another issue, is I have to reach in front of me to get stuff. I don't really like that, but I don't always do videos, so most of the time I'm playing by myself, so it's okay if I reach when I'm just by myself. The only reason it bothers me is if I'm doing videos. That's going to bother me, reaching. So if I were... Do I have another layer on there? I feel like I do. We're going to go ahead and experiment and see what happens if we go ahead and put down one that's 2 layers. Well, let's see if we can't get another layer off of there. Yep, there sure is. These are usually 3 ply, so they say if you don't get all 3 plies off, that other ply ends up peeling. So let's see. Let's put that to the test and see if it actually does that up here. You know what I've been wanting lately? I've been thinking that maybe I want some watercolor pencils. Just exactly for what we're about to do, you know, that I've been watching Journaling Tales. She has watercolor pencils, and when she paints on her page, you know how you take a Stabilo and you dip it in water and then write with it? You know how it kind of gets kind of smeary? She does that with her watercolor pencils. And it looks cool. I like that effect. And I'm thinking maybe I need some. But I have... Let me show you what I have. And if you guys have both, tell me. I have these. Is this going to be the same concept as a watercolor pencil? That if I dip it in the water and just make circles or doodles, that it's going to be the same as a watercolor pencil? Or do you think I need watercolor pencils? Those of you that might have both. Because if I don't need them, if you say, well, those watercolor crayons will give you the same effect, then I won't get them, because I am, you know, going into limited space here. It's a 12 by 12 room, and I'm coming from 24 by 24, so I'm literally, you know, 12, what? How many times is that? Quadruple the space that I'm going down on? I don't remember. I don't remember where I put my daubers. We're kind of putting this room to the test, aren't we? It's paints. One of these. Those are gelatos. Okay, here they are. Okay. I don't have a green one. Just wanted to ink around this before I stuck it on. Yeah, it may just be something, I I had a friend once that said, if you want something, just wait 24 hours. I think it was my best friend, Tracy. She said, if you want something, wait 24 hours. And then if you really want it, go back and get it. And if it's there, it's meant to be. Where, now I don't know what I did with my glue. There it is. My phone is all kinds of sagging here. I'm going to try to move you back up before this phone falls off of this. Holy cow. Yeah, I'm really falling apart. Okay, I think I'm going to have to end this because that's just about to fall off. Let me end this and come back. Yes, this is not a professional video. Okay, I'm back. Masking tape. It's not just for art. My little clippy thing was falling off and the phone was about to drop. You guys probably saw it slowly moving and was yelling, hey, you're about to get hit in the head with a phone. So anyway, my best friend Tracy, you know, she said if you want something, wait 24 hours to see if you really want it, yada yada. Well, I just need to wait 24 hours and see, do I really want, because you know, I may be on to somebody else's video and some other technique and on to something else. So, might find that I don't really need colored pencils. Now, I saw some little stickers over here I wanted to use. My fingers are getting really gluey. Okay. I've got this upside down. Just get some little gibbles and bits on here, as Helen or Janet Nash would call it. Gibbles and bits. No. Is that what Miss Helen, I've got you on the brain today. I think maybe I need to pray for you. Usually when somebody is laid on my brain like that, I feel like the Lord's telling me, hey, maybe you ought to pray for that person. Janet Nash does not say gibbles and bits, does she? Bits and bobs is what she says. Gibbles and bits, I believe, is Lori Marie Jenkins, isn't it? I don't remember who says gibbles. Oh, I think I remember who says gibbles and bits. I'm not positive, though. Is it Tiff from Southern Gals Designs? Is she the one that says gibbles and bits? Anyway, I need to use up my gibbles and bits. Let's just go ahead and use up this whole page. I've got all kinds of stuff on here we can stick. This would go, actually would go good as a tag in my gardening journal. I've got stuff separated to make a gardening journal. And this would be good for that, wouldn't it? Let's not do green. Let's do another color. I don't know if that's red or pink, but whatever it is, it's good enough. I hate these that have the lid on them because I don't know what I do with the lid. I don't know where it ends up. These are the kind I like, that have the, you just stand it upside down like that. I have lost the lid to that just this quick. There we go. I need to put that in water. Since we are not using it right now, let's put some of these little these flowers here and there. And see, then I set it upright, and then I'm just not going to work. Not going to work. These are always ready. I think one of my grandkids did these. I mean, obviously, I haven't colored in a while, so I don't think it was me. Although I'm trying to teach myself to color out of the lines. I've never liked to color in the lines, but I've always tried to stay in the lines. Okay, let's see here. Let's do... Man, that ink pad is the ink pad that just never gives up. This ink pad was one of the first ink pads I ever got when I first started junk journaling. And it is just as juicy today. And it was probably on the dollar store bin. Just as juicy today as it was the day I bought it. I always run my finger around to try to get it over to the edge before I stick it on. Well, that's that. I'm not going to do the other ones because I think I'm going to be chopping them in half to be able to get a tag out of each one. So I'm going to I think I'm just going to put this one aside to dry, and then I'll probably go over it a little bit with some paints and markers and such. Unless I find some other ephemera or something else to put on it. And I think we'll end this video because I'm going to attempt to start doing shorter videos. Yeah, I know you're laughing at me. I just think shorter videos are best. Okay? Thanks for hanging with me. We will come back again when these are dry, and I will do another video continuing on. Bye-bye from Birdie.